The Titans Academy was supposed to be a home for young heroes, but in the dystopian future state, it all fell apart somehow. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Future State Teen Titans #1 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the comic, an older Nightwing as well as Emiko Queen, now simply going by the codename The Arrow, have come to the ruins of what was once Titan's Tower. These hallowed grounds, we discover, are also home to grave markers belonging to some of the most famous former Titans, including Donna Troy as well as Wally West and Wallace West. Though, just because they're buried here, don't take that to mean that they died here, as this book actually ties into the events of what's going on in the Future State Flashbook, so here's hoping you read that or you might be confused. Dick and Emiko have come here today to dig through the wreckage to try and find supplies. They end up finding such amazing artifacts as the Dial H for Hero phone, as well as a mask belonging to Red X. And chances are, if you clicked on this video solely because of the thumbnail, Red X is the only thing you care about, because chances are you were young enough for that original Teen Titans cartoon to be a formative part of your experience growing up and learning about the DC Universe, and you built up the character of Red X into some sort of mythical figure despite the fact that there's actually very little written about the character. But hey, don't worry, I'm from the generation that built up Boba Fett, and now he's getting his own streaming show, so miracles happen every day. For those who don't remember the storyline of the cartoon, Dick Grayson had created the Red X persona as part of a bigger deception, and much of that seems to be very much true here in this new Sheridan story as we flash back to the golden days of the Titans Academy. Yes, it seems at some point in the future all these former teen heroes come together to create a school for the sole purpose of helping to train new heroes. It's during Dick Grayson's birthday party he gets perhaps the strangest gift of all, the Red X mask, but no actual name on it saying who it's from. We do get a nice little snapshot of what the Titans Academy was probably like in its prime, with characters like Cyborg and Beast Boy actually proving to fit the roles of teacher and mentor quite well. In fact, it looks like for a second there, Dick and Starfire had actually managed to reconcile romantically before everything went to hell all over again. Dick also mentions how he just so managed to make it out of Gotham before things got too bad, no doubt referencing the Magistrate and what's going on in the Batman books now. In fact, if you're eagle-eyed like me, you'll probably notice that Nightwing's costume looks different than the one he's going to be wearing in his own Future State book, which, from what I understand, takes place in Gotham. Which means this book might actually end up having the most connective tissue out of any of the Future State books I've read so far. It's around here we get to check on in with Starfire, who has really grown into the role of de facto leader of the Titans team. And we also get to meet several new Titans Academy students. Personally, I'm quite a big fan of Gorilla Greg, a good version of Gorilla Grodd, and Johnny the Chupacabra, who is a Chupacabra. Finally, good, solid, respectable Chupacabra representation in media. As a secret closeted Chupacabra myself, this means the world to me. So, I've been talking for this long and I don't think I've actually managed to say yet what exactly this story is about, which is admittedly a bit of a problem with this first issue overall, but when we eventually do get into the meat and potato of things, we discover Cybeast, yes that's right, a fusion of Cyborg and Beast Boy, has just managed to return to the Titans base with some very important information regarding the Spear of Destiny, a god-killing super weapon that they hope they can use to defeat their new foes, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Of course, if you read the Flashbook, you'll know that Wally West had actually been replaced by Famine of the Horsemen of Apocalypse and was attacking other speedsters. We don't actually see any of the other horsemen in this book either. But we know with such a magic-based problem, the resident mistress of magic, Raven, has taken solving this problem very seriously, so much to the point that she's actually asking for help from a mysterious individual who the Titans have in prison. This person, as we soon discover, is Red X, or at least a student at the Titans Academy who took up the mantle of Red X, feeling that Dick and the others had been lying to them. This mysterious Red X had taken all of Titan Towers hostage, and due to some shenanigans with the Dial H for Hero phone, there was a massive explosion. Donna Troy tried to step on in and stop this, only to end up getting herself killed, and I'm assuming this explosion also blew up the rest of the tower, but it's left kind of vague. The heroes hope they can use the power of the Spear of Destiny to force all the Horsemen of the Apocalypse to manifest in one place so they can take them out. But even then, the odds aren't looking good for them, as these young heroes would be battling against, well, the very Apocalypse itself. It's for all those reasons and more, Nightwing, who we've seen grow more cold and detached as time goes on, makes a bit of a deal with the devil. For you see, Dick Grayson says that he's willing to win at any cost now, even if that means donning the mask of Deathstroke, one of the Titans' most hated enemies, before letting getting Red X out of his cage and giving his mask back to him too. And so that was Future State Teen Titans issue number 1, everybody, and while I may end up sounding like something of a broken record here, much like a lot of the other Future State books, this one was a little scattershot and all over the place, but still bursting with new ideas. I'm also kind of sort of willing to give this one a bit more leeway because we know that Sheridan will continue to be writing Teen Titans as the book will become Titans Academy once Future State is done, and that this issue is probably just as much a preview of coming attractions as it is anything else, and anything that doesn't make sense now is probably going to get filled in later. I suppose it makes a lot of sense for Tim Sheridan to ultimately be the writer to canonize inexplicable fan favorite Red X, considering that this guy cut his teeth not in the world of writing comics, but writing for comic book cartoons and TV. And a good Who Is Under the Mask mystery is always something that keeps me interested and keeps me reading a book. I do have to wonder, will Red X be a character we already know, or will they be someone completely new? Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one an 8 out of 10, and I'm interested enough to check back on in to see where it all goes.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.